Hello, this is Don with Managers Managers. Today we have a senior manager of a multinational Fortune 500 company. She will be giving us her story today out of Vancouver, Canada. Here is Kim Holdings. Kim, how are you today?
Hi, everybody. Doing great from Vancouver, Canada. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. As happy to have you here out of Vancouver, Canada. It's nice for you to come to the States.
It is beautiful. Best time of year, summertime. Hot, but not humid. Very nice.
All
Great time to
right, all
visit.
right. Nice. So so today what's about your story? What are you gonna be covering with the audience today?
You know what, Don? I would like to just share my story in hopes that it will give some of your listeners some hope in terms of being able to achieve positions in companies or do things in life that they maybe don't think they can do it. My parents were immigrants and they came to Canada. I grew up in just a regular middle class family, worked in the family business, and then started working at a young age and did it with no silver spoon or any handout.
And now what do you to the audience, I know what you do right now, but to the audience, what do you do at this moment? What position do you hold right now?
At this I take all of my experience, Don, and I'm building my next brand, my next business. My most recent business I sold recently and co-founded and started up a business, built a multi-million dollar brand and exited that company and sold it. Prior to that, I worked and climbed my way up in a Fortune 500 company to senior management level. And before then, it was many different jobs. I worked in selling shoes when I was 14, working in basketball. That's Canada's national sport. It's not hockey. It's actually, basketball was founded in Canada. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't.
It,
I didn't know that.
it
Thanks for
was
telling
in,
me.
yes, it was invented by Dr. James Naismith, and he created the game in a peach basket where people throw balls in a basket and then decided to cut a hole in the bottom. But I worked in the national team, which is the Olympic team, worked in provincial, which is the equivalent of state, and also when the Vancouver Grizzlies NBA team expanded into Canada, I helped with their expansion and did the first 3-on-3 basketball tournament for the NBA in Canada. And so I was in the basketball world for many years, left that and worked in Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes and worked with the cartoon characters and launched the film festival in North America and just took my skills and just learned different skills, launched a collectible figurine line. And after doing and dabbling, worked in aerospace. So I worked in many different industries and picked up skills and then decided to settle in a Fortune 500 in a corporate life. So I did both the entrepreneurial and corporate.
All right, but Kim, um, what all these different things you did, what kept you going all for all these years? It looked like what kept you going?
A desire to learn and be around different people, learn different industries, and learn different skill sets. Each one contributed to my career, whether it was starting up, collecting cash, being a cashier and helping at my family's business, to selling shoes when I was 14, or, working in retail at the mall. Every single job added a skill set and helped me just navigate life.
Right. So every job was a stepping stone to where you wanted to go to.
Yes, I didn't do it the traditional way. I didn't look at jobs as a stepping stone, traditional staircase. For example, a lot of people have their sights on going to university. I also went to university and completed my degree in neuroscience. At one point in my life, I thought I was going to be a doctor. That didn't wasn't my interest midway through, or wasn't the way life went for me. But a lot of people do believe in going to university, coming out, starting at a lower job, eventually climbing up and up, and every single job being a stepping stone. Post university for me, it was about skill sets. I wasn't really so focused on I have to keep climbing. At that point, it was let's go see the world. Let's learn. Let's see different industries. Go behind companies.
Okay. So on this journey, any mistakes that you made to on your way there? Anything that you think that you would have never do now if you could have do it over?
Yeah, lots of mistakes. I think that's how we definitely grow as people. I think in the beginning, I undervalued myself. I was so desperate to just be and get anything in a company. I would either accept a lower salary or just, I mean, at one point, I think I would have even volunteered myself, right? It was almost too ambitious. It was to really, my advice is to, and the lesson is to make sure you see your worth, like know what you're going in there for and be confident asking for a reasonable amount of money. It's okay to ask for a reasonable amount. You're not asking for the top. You don't have to lower yourself to the low. Just go in, be clear. So that's one mistake. It was a lot of people do that starting up that, just, I'll do anything kind of thing. Well, not necessarily. So I worked for a very, very low or nothing in the beginning. I mean, now I'd say that was a good thing because I have the skills, but I didn't learn the art of negotiating or just early on. I learned that later and how important it is to have self-value. So that's another mistake. From entrepreneur and building my own business, it was really getting good legal advice and understanding the structuring of business. For example, shares, what it really means to have a partnership in business.
Right, but
What are some implications of that?
but like with the audience, I wanna get exactly where did it start for you? Where was the breakthrough from 14 selling shoes to having a
I love,
multi-million dollar company now? Where in between there was that breakthrough?
I think the fundamental thing is it was really going out there, getting my hands and learning with experience and meeting and dealing with people, lots of different people. So what made me jump? Early days, I'd say from my 20s, it was very, understand, learn different industries, just get out there, meet people, learn. Then for more stability, I decided to climb the corporate ladder and joined a Fortune 500. Started at the bottom, started in sales and progressively moved up. Sales management, then you get brand, group, global, senior. I mean, as you go up and up in a corporation, you get more responsibilities. And that was excellent for having a lot of training, learning, resources of a big company. But then finally for me, what was the final thing was I needed to have my own idea and business. I had to believe in myself and I knew I could do it. And I always had that desire to create my own. So take all the skills, all the training, all the money I made for the corporation, and then do it for myself.
Okay, so did you went into this company knowing how to sell already, or yeah,
No.
or they actually teach you there?
Yeah, I learned there. I mean, formal training. I was thinking in life and in all my even when I was 14, there was no formal sales training. It was okay, here's a job, you're going to get paid, a little bit more than the minimum wage. Go, this is what you're expected to do, now go do it. It was just learn by fire. Learn to talk to people. There was no formal sales training. When I went in the corporation and started at the bottom, it was very formal sales training. There was formal training. They had a training department. That's the one benefit of working for a larger corporation. They have the resources, you have the opportunity to learn and be trained. And so that was good and a different way of learning.
Right. So now you have a a senior manager position with a company.
Mm-hmm.
and plus you have your own business. Besides that, you have your own company running, plus you're a senior manager for a different company than yours.
Yes. And so the biggest jump was having to take those skill sets. You learn, I always say there's skills. There's some things like learning to talk to people, learning to manage teams, learning to negotiate, learning to all these skills you need, business side of it, numbers, forecasting, planning, goal setting, all that. Now do it in real life with your own business from nothing. Without all the big machine resources, it comes down to having your own skills and relying on your own skills.
Okay, so yes, Kim. So as you said, you've been selling slippers as 14. Um, what what will you give? What advice will you tell a 14-year-old right now at this moment who trying to start their own business or who want to move up the corporate ladder as they get older, who thinking about these things as they get older? Where will you tell them to focus, like stay in school, and what will you tell them to practice before that time come?
Everything, every life experience and everything you do and people you meet adds to your future success. So, for example, my advice is don't try to plan your life out. Don't try to make it a ladder and say, I have to do this before I do this. Because when I was 13 and a half, did I know that the skills of jumping in to my first job, paid job, would lead me to be a senior manager and then eventually have the skills to build my own company and brand and then sell it for multi-millions? No, I didn't know that. So I still encourage people to jump in and do everything. I had part-time jobs as a cashier at a grocery store. I sold shoes. I worked in the mall in optical, in the mall when at night shift when people don't want to work it, selling glasses. Everything and the skills you learn so contributes in the future. So if you're 14 or younger and you don't know what you want to be when you grow up, you don't know if you want to go to university, you're not sure, don't worry about it. Because whatever you do is going to help you in the end. And be open to changing and learning as you go. I don't regret going to university. It was an excellent experience. And I ended up not following the path of going into medical or master's and PhD or what a lot of people do. But going into university taught me other skill sets, like finishing what I start, staying up, and grit, getting through a program that's quite difficult,
Okay,
meeting different types of people. So it's all helpful.
okay. And for the people in the corporate field right now who's
Hmm.
not 14 and who actually looking to climb up the ladder, they've done a supervisor already and they want to work their way up to the manager position, then to the general manager position. What what words you could give them to help them continue their journey and don't try to don't hold back. Just keep going.
Always go to your manager with solutions and not problems. Ask to take on more and special projects if you can. If you really want to learn and you feel that you're doing well in your current position, show enthusiasm. Ask your manager for more projects. You have to work with your manager and build your career, make them an advocate for you. Learn from them, help them look good so that you can learn and figure out how to work together as a team because each manager along the way becomes your supporter and helps you build a different skill set and is your champion. In a corporation, it's not just how hard you work on your own. It's the perception of other people. It's how you grow and show initiative. It's what skills you are lacking based on your own awareness, on senior management perception of you, on your peers and your colleagues. So you are seen from all different areas and everybody's input is valued.
Okay. There's some good info there for our listeners. And
It's not,
go ahead. You go ahead, Kim.
yeah, sorry, Don. The one thing is when I started in the corporation, I'm a very hard worker and I always thought it's just, if I just do my one job really well, and just work all hours in that and do it really well, I'm going to get a promotion. It's not that one thing. You do need to do your job and hit your results. You also have to manage and be aware of the people around you and work with multiple stakeholders, departments, like it's everybody around you. Just being the hard worker and doing great work is not going to get you promoted.
Okay, so what for the other listeners who mightn't understand what you just said there, could you put in a nutshell what, from your point of view, what might get them promoted in the corporate world?
Be very clear on working with your manager on your goals. So if you want to climb, you tell your manager you want to climb and you work with your manager on a plan and really have your manager be your champion.
Right.
And that is the key. So whoever it is who's your manager, whether you like the manager or not, some people you're going to get along with better than others. You need to make them your partner in your career.
Right. So go to them, let them know you want to elevate, you want to move up. Don't think or assume that they know you want to move up. You have to be
Yes,
heard.
that's
You
correct.
have to be heard. You have to speak to them.
You have to show initiative. You have to work with your manager. You don't get to do this is not by yourself. This is not something that you can just work hard and work super hard by yourself and get promoted.
Okay.
You need your manager to support you and champion your name and really advocate.
Okay, that is some good info there. I think a lot of people are gonna appreciate that information.
Yes, it was a lot of hard work, very rewarding, and I learned a lot. And the other thing is you learn to mentor other people. In the corporate world, you get to learn to lead teams and get more and more and more responsibility as you grow and move up the chain. And you have the opportunity to try that.
Okay. So that was some positive information there. I know you have a whole lot to share with us, Kim, but for our listeners, when again you'll be back for where we could continue this interview?
I would love to come back. I would love it if your listeners would proactively reach out, ask questions, and I'd be happy to answer them.
I know a lot of them might want to hear your opinion on a lot of questions they have. But to do that, they could actually send us an email at managers@managersmanagers.com, or you could visit the website at www.managersmanagers.com, and we'll have your questions answered, and you'll have a date where Kim is gonna be back with us in the studio, and she herself could give her personal view on your questions. All right. Kim, is there anything you'd like to tell our listeners before we close off?
Yes, just my one word of advice is be open to trying every experience and don't worry too much about your life path. Everything will add to your experience and don't worry about failure.
Okay, because the only way failure comes is by trying.
If you don't try, you don't fail. If people who don't fail often don't put the effort in. So if you put effort and try and you fail, then you learn something and you do it better the next time. So you can't grow without failing.
Okay, Kim. It was nice having you here, and guys, see you the next time. This is Don and Kim signing out of Managers.